Hello, I'm Professor Presley, Captain of Theatrical Garbage, and I am excited to talk to you about a song and its relationship to the stage and to film. And one of my degrees was in theater, and the thesis that we had to do was to take a play, an entire play, and that somebody else's, and do an entire do the entire booklet on it, themes and thesis and swatches for the costumes and all these sort of you have to do every little detail, and then you have to stage one piece of it. And so I chose a play by Sam Shepard, and the Counting Crows song, there's a Counting Crows song that's called Another Horse Dreamer's Blues. And the Counting Crows song is about the Sam Shepard play. And the play is really awesome. It's a bit dark, but it takes place in Wyoming, and what happens is they are stealing kids. And it's not just kids. One time it's a grown man in there, but they have a thing in their neck called a dream bone. And they have the special ability to dream and yell out winning horses in horse races. And, people kidnap them and they keep them sleepy and they keep them locked up in these hotel rooms, and they're always running. Well, in the play, two Wyoming cowboy brothers are looking for their little brother who has been kidnapped, and he's a dreamer. And he's about to, they run out of dreams, and so they cut the dream bone out of their neck, and they grind it up and make it into dream bone dust, right? And so that's Sam Shepard's play, Horse Dreamer's Blues. And another Horse Dreamer's Blues is the Counting Crows song. And so when he says Marjorie's dreaming, so Marjorie is an Adam Duritz character, right? So Marjorie shows up. He has a song called Marjorie. So Marjorie's one of his characters that is in the Duritz verse, right, that goes through. And so the song from Counting Crows, with all the ba-da-ba-ba-das, it's closer to the idea of Leaving Las Vegas. So it came out around that time that Leaving Las Vegas came out, and Adam Duritz was at this sort of point in his life, like it was on Recovering the Satellite, so it was, A Long December was kind of a huge hit for them, and they were kind of understanding playing music and being on the road and that sort of thing. And so the song is more about, day to day, like, your life's not getting worse, but it's not getting better. And his horse is in there, Teary to win and Perfect Dozen to place. And one of my favorite things about horse races, I would say I don't like horse races because it hurts horses, and jockeys have to be all coked up and stuff like that. But I like the legendary of it, and I love the names of the horses. Like, if you just go back, and if you ever go through like the newspaper, I used to do that when I was a kid, when I needed characters for stories and names and stuff. You go through and you look at the names of the horses, and I think it's really neat to sort of think of like people with their horse names, right? Because if you look at like Stinky Gus outside, or Prissy Betty, right? There's this. I think it's kind of neat to look at somebody and think of their horse name, because it helps me remember them as a person. Anyway, I did wonderful in my project, A+, the best project ever done. But I had a lot of help on it. But for the dreaming, we got an old projector, and we projected up on the wall horses running. And we got this really awesome old B-roll from old Kentucky Derbies and Preakness Stakes and stuff. And the horses were running. So it's really neat, the connection between Sam Shepard, and you'll know Sam Shepard. So when I chose the Sam Shepard play, and Sam Shepard, you will know from I think his most famous thing that he was in was Thunderheart with Val Kilmer. I don't know, he's probably the more famous thing. It's just the last time I saw him in a movie was he was in Thunderheart, and he's awesome. Sam Shepard is amazing, and I have always been kindred spirit with him. So when I chose this, this song, obviously I'm a super Counting Crows nerd, and I got to combine those two things into a song and a play, right? That's what I'm always trying to do. And that same year, the year that I graduated and I had that project and I turned it in, that same year, I went to New York and I was starting. I had already started going into my new classes for another degree, and I hadn't completely finished that one. But I was going into these other classes, and it was really neat because one of the classes that I took was equine studies, and it was because you had to choose an animal. I didn't want to chop anything up, and I didn't think we'd ever have to chop up a horse, so that was kind of good. But I took that, and I was able to combine those two ideas together in the class to get me through the science part of it. And then I took a trip to New York, and while I was in New York, I went to see Sweeney Todd, and it was Patti LuPone was in it, and they played the instruments on stage, and they would hand off the instruments. Well, I watched it with Adam Duritz in that play. He had happened to be there, and I had happened to be in line. That's a whole other story. But it's this neat idea of combining music, and then life, and then song, and then horses. And so it sparked this idea in me of doing sort of a dark horse race, because horse races are dark on their own, but a storyline of a dark horse race. So I'll get back to you soon. And that's another Horse Dreamers Blues and Horse Dreamers Blues. Sam Shepard and Moby Adam Duritz. And in Theatrical Garbage. Thanks for stopping by. Like, subscribe, share, send money, and tacos.
I have anything green to wear on Friday.
We gotta find something green. Hello, I'm Professor Presley, and I don't normally do this, but I'm gonna answer one of the questions that was asked of me in the comments. And that question was, how long, when you're first dating a woman, how long do you wait before you fart in front of her? Like, what's the appropriate amount of time? And Danielle, do you have any input?
I'm on 7 years so far.
7 years, so 7 years before someone farts in front of Danielle. You have any advice on how long you should wait before you fart in front of a woman? Is it 7 years? Well, how long? A month? All right, we got 7 years and a month. So I say, the second you meet a woman, go ahead and fart right in front of her.
Just
get it out of the way. Grab her head and stick it down there. I think that's called a Dutch oven. So that's my advice, and that's why I don't answer questions. Good morning. I'm Professor Presley, and today we'll be building a sandworm and the catchers for the sandworm. None of us has anything to do today, so I've decided to come up with projects that will benefit me greatly.
I've been working on my special effects lately, trying to, I have a great storyline, got some pretty good actors, but my special effects have, the last award season, got nothing. So I thought I would mix more practical effects, like building a giant sandworm that I can ride. One, that's just good for me to have dexterity, and two, I think it's a good idea for us to have a sandworm in our collection. To make miniatures. And look, isn't it a good thing I did? Look at our sandworm.
What do they call them in Chinese?
Egg worms?
Oh, I recall that.
So I got this